He can rush off the edge. He can blitz. He can cover. He's good in the run. Very, very explosive player. Runs a 4.5 40 allegedly. I think he's would be a phenomenal pick and just adding to a vaunted defense like Denver's.
Welcome back to another episode of the Broncos Avenue podcast. I'm your host, Amir Farrell, with my co-host, Evan Petruk. I know you're probably reading this title and being like, what the hell? A mock draft in early May of 2025 when the NFL draft literally just ended like 2 weeks ago, not even. Yes, we are doing that. We're going to be the ones to do that. We have a Denver Broncos way too early 2026 3-round mock draft. They didn't want to go 7 rounds. That'd be a little too much and crazy just because we don't know Broncos needs as of right now. But it's going to be a little fun to look back on in 2026, like right before we actually start doing our mock drafts, like closer to that draft. I think I personally just like miss, we were talking about it before the show, like I really miss evaluating like draft prospects so much. I say it all the time, even after the draft. Like the NFL draft is my favorite time of the year. So just looking at a lot of these defensive, offensive players in the first 3 rounds, there's a lot of talent in this upcoming draft. So I'm excited to dive into this mock draft we have for you guys, and including a trade. But Evan, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. How about yourself?
Doing fantastic. Like I said, excited to dive into this mock. Starting off with round 1, which before we jump into it, I want to preface a lot of these picks and the simulators were mocked like simply because of their Super Bowl odds, simply due to their Super Bowl odds. So the Broncos are at pick 19. I do think they'll be a little bit lower, so I don't know if they will be picking here. Probably be unrealistic, but just with where the simulator has us at, in round 1, pick 19, I don't have them trading up or down. I have them taking Texas linebacker Anthony Hill Jr. For the second year in the row, have them taking the best Texas defensive player in the draft. Honestly, might be even the best defensive player in the draft, arguably.
Yeah, that's a little crazy there, but
he is a
I'm
beast.
a big Caleb Downs guy, so number 2.
Anthony Hill Jr. is just a monster. According to many analysts, he's considered the best off-ball linebacker in the draft, considered even a top 10 player in the draft, possesses elite versatility, can rush a passer off the edge, and is an elite blitzer, can control the middle of the field as a coverage player. He's just a phenomenal player, man. And I think after the Broncos didn't take a linebacker in this draft, and when you signed Dre Greenlaw, who has a little bit of injury history, Alex Singleton's going to be a free agent, I feel like you have to draft a linebacker within the first 2 rounds, assuming they don't address it in 2026 free agency.
Yeah, no, this is another case of what they did this year.
Yeah.
Best player available, man. If Dre Greenlaw lives up to the hype and we somehow have Anthony Hill fall to us at whatever pick we have, Dre Greenlaw and Anthony Hill will feed generations with how good this linebacker duo is. Anthony Hill, he has this almost alien-like twitchiness and lateral movement about him. Like, it is almost freaky to watch. He was a joy to watch last year at Texas in the college football games I watched last year. And, you know, he's one of those guys that's good in the run, good in the pass. He can play his own coverage. Not the best in man coverage, but you're asking a 230-pound 6'4", 6'3" linebacker to play man coverage on a slot corner or a slot receiver. Like, you can't really expect any of these guys to be absolutely elite in man coverage. So, but I think that having a guy like this who's very versatile, he can rush off the edge, he can blitz, he can cover, he's good in the run, very, very explosive player, runs a 4.5 40 allegedly. I think he's would be a phenomenal pick and just adding to a vaunted defense like Denver's.
Yeah, Broncos country has always dreamed of having that like elite coverage player, elite blitzer, elite run defender. And I think you get exactly that with Anthony Hill Jr. here. And I know it's a little shocked to see another for a second consecutive year taking a defensive player in the first, but I think at this point with how good our roster is, assuming we stay healthy, I think for the foreseeable future, it's going to be BPA for the Broncos in like the first, or not even just like the first 3 rounds, maybe even the entire draft. Round 2, pick 55, don't have them trading here again. I have them taking Florida guard Jake Slaughter. The Broncos take an offensive lineman within the first 2 rounds, which feels like just the first time in forever. I don't even know. Someone let us know in the comments. I don't know if you know, Evan. When was the last time the Broncos took an O lineman in the first 2 rounds besides like Garrett Bowles? Like
Probably Garrett
it's the
Bowles.
last time I remember. That was 2017. Like it's been a
Mhm.
long time. And hey,
When
Sean,
was Reisner drafted?
he was oh true, yeah, that good catch. That was 2019 after
'Cause he was
he was
like
the pick
back to back.
after pick after Drew Lock, in the
Yeah,
second
that's what it
round.
was.
Yeah, completely forgot about him. So
Mhm.
yeah, he obviously I believe he's a free agent still. Maybe he signed back with the Vikings. I know he was hinting at a reunion with the Broncos, which he's a little delusional for that. No offense, but. I like this pick, man. Sean Payton is known for taking guards and tackles in the first 2 rounds. He's did it with Ramczyk. He did it with Cesar Ruiz. He's done it a lot of times in New Orleans. He believes in taking offensive linemen high, and I think you could definitely you could even see. I really did consider taking O linemen in the first round, but there's just like the guard depth is not that great in the first round. So I figured why not go BPA with defense in the first, then take your future guard in the second. Ben Powers is going to be a free agent in 2027. That was kind of our thought process here. His main Jake Slaughter's main position is center, but he's played over 100 snaps at both a left and right guard. So you see a lot of times, like player in college, like they'll come out as a center, but teams will move them to guard where they're more often like gonna be more successful in the NFL. I feel like it's a little bit more harder to find like elite centers than it is elite guards. So he has that elite versatility. He can play left guard, right guard, and center. Sean Payton will love that. Zach Strief will love that. His teammates and coaches have spoken very, very highly of his leadership, often saying that he's like the voice of the huddle. The Broncos, they love high character players. We talked about that a lot in the pre-draft process. He has that solid pass protection skills, but his run blocking is where he's like really specializes in. So I like this pick a lot right here. I think it's good value.
Yeah, no, it's actually funny you talk about him switching to guard because that's what I think he would do as well. But he's actually the highest graded center
Yeah.
in college football since Jackson Powers Johnson, who was a center at Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Now he plays guard for the Raiders. So I think he's still playing guard. He might have switched to center now, but I wouldn't know anything about that because I don't keep up with the Raiders.
Pretty sure he's
Unlike
still a
you.
guard.
So, yeah.
Okay, I guess unlucky. Now I just threw myself under the bus. Now I'm a confirmed Raiders fan. God damn it.
Yeah, no, but he's explosive. He's got really long arms and a really big frame for a center. He's like 6'4", so that's pretty big for a center. But it slot right in as a good guard, and you can't. Obviously, you got guys that like it's not the tackle build with like the freakishly long arms and the super tall tackles for the leverage thing, but having long arms as a guard is an asset for sure. Get under the pads, but a little bit taller, like 6'4" for a guard is pretty tall, but I don't see it as an issue. He's a really smart player, great in run and the pass blocking. He's a very smart player. Like you said, he's a great leader, very competitive, and he's got a really good track record of going against elite interior defensive linemen.
Yep.
I think like a lot of the SEC talent, he played like Shamar Stewart, Shamar Turner, all these guys, I can't think of them off the top of my head. Deion Walker, Omar Norman Lott, Walter Nolan, all these guys that he played against in the SEC last year.
There you go.
Very good track record against them. So I think that taking one of the best center prospects in the last 5 years in the second round is totally not a reach. Same thing. Jackson Powers Johnson last year was ranked as a top 30 player on a lot of people's big boards, top 20 even. Slides to the second round just because of positional value. But he's a very good, promising young guard, and I don't think you can. Undervalue the importance of taking a good interior offensive lineman early in the draft.
Yeah, if anything, Wanberg is going to be a free agent after this year, so maybe shit. If you even want him to be your center, he can be. But like you said, I do like him more at left guard. He obviously won't be our right guard because of Quinn Miners, but these two first picks, absolutely love them. Like even if anybody thinks that Anthony Hill Jr. is going to be taken higher than pick 19 where we picked him, I mean, a lot of people thought Jahdae Barron was the best corner of the draft, and he fell to 20, and we took him. So you never really know. I mean, it's very early to be saying this, but love these first two picks here. Jake Slaughter, honestly, in particular, I think this would be a phenomenal pick. Round 3, you have the Broncos trading back 4 spots with the Packers and acquiring a 2026 5th and 7th in the same draft. And they select with a 55th pick, Florida State defensive tackle Darrell Jackson Jr. massive frame at 6'5", 337. Yes, you were hearing that correct. For reference, DJ Jones, who plays the same position, is 6'5", 305, or excuse me, 6 foot flat and 305 pounds. I mean, bro, he'll come in right away and probably maybe even be the starter. Like he'll give every veteran a run for their money in training camp. He also played at Maryland and Miami, so he's played against some tough guards and centers. Has 10 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks as a defensive tackle. Really balanced player when it comes to defending the run and rushing the passer as well. I mean, he's everything you would want in the third round, and it honestly would not surprise me if he ends up becoming like a fringe first round pick. Call me crazy.
No, I think he's got a level of versatility that is very valued at the NFL level. His most comfortable position is like a 4-3 defensive tackle. In our scheme, I thought about something when I was doing a little bit of research on him. So he would probably play the 3 technique, but I think that he would be a very good situational pass rusher with that huge frame on third downs, playing the nose. I think it would open up a lot of opportunity for Vance Joseph to try different stunts and different blitzes, and I think it would be very solid. He's a very good pass rusher. The only thing I saw with him when I was watching a little bit of his tape was he's got a little bit of an inconsistent motor. He's got a good motor, but sometimes he takes plays off, which is nothing that a good disciplinary coaching staff can't fix. But like a huge human being, like massive, like you get this guy playing nose tackle. Oh my gosh. He's almost like, if you are struggling to kind of conceptualize what this player would look like if you don't want to do your research on him, he's built similar to Chris Jones. So look how big Chris Jones looks as a 4-3 defensive tackle, and like that's what this guy looks like. So
yeah, absolute monster. Like he plays with such like a nasty play style, like in a good way. And he'll just wreak havoc. Like it'll make life way easier on Zach Allen, Savion Jones, Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper. It'll be an absolute nasty sight to see.
Extremely long arms too, like
Yeah.
very, very long arms for the position.
Makes it way quicker for him to get to the quarterback. So this defense, man, even just doing this mock right now, like I said, like I know we're doing this 11 and a half months early, but dude, like looking at how good this draft could be, the Broncos defense could get even like 2 times scarier than it is next year. I'm really excited to see. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments about this 3-round mock draft. What would you grade it? What was your least and favorite pick out of our 3 picks? But with that being said, I'm your host, Amir Farrell, with my co-host, Evan Petruk. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.